Hey, what's up, Georgia here? This time around it's Maryland, and I'm still using it, the knife.com slash, of course, this time around it's at knife.com slash Maryland Knife Law. And as usual, I ain't claiming to be no expert, nor being no attorney and stuff. Just doing this like state by state with a quick overview. Uh, uh, okay, let's get into this. Maryland's lacks statewide preemption, implying that counties within the state can enforce stricter knife restrictions. The scenario leads to verified regulations across counties, making it a complex landscape for knife enthusiasts. A knife deemed legal in one county made uh, a knife deemed legal in one county could be illegal in the neighbor one. So, advisable to research the knife laws of each county that you intend to visit, especially when organizing activities like hunting trips. Maryland's knife laws are quite lenient regarding ownership, covering a broad spectrum of knives such as butterflies, bowie knives, and other large uh, blades, stabbing knives like dirks, daggers, and stilettos, switchblades, and other automatic knives, graffiti knives, disguise knives, throwing knives, undetectable knives, and manual pen knives. Uh, uh, there aren't explicit restrictions on knife ownership, selling certain knives like switchblades, grabbing knives, ballistic knives, or knives with shooting blades. Basis limitations. The regulations can differ from one county to the next. Uh, Maryland knife definitions. Weapon includes dirks, bowie, switchblade, star knives, and sand clubs, metal knuckles, and nunchucks. But excludes handguns or pen knives without a switchblade. Uh, Pen knife defined through Bacon versus Maryland, where the court stated that pen knife with a folding manual folding blade is not a weapon, uh, no matter the size. A switchblade knife or switchblade pen knife heats blades opens automatically by hand pressure applied to a button, spring, or other devices on the handle. Uh, Graphene knife defined uh, Safeway versus State, where the court equated graphene knives to switchblade since both open by pressing a button, with a sole difference being that graphene knife blade is suspended through gravity, thus classified as a weapon. Uh, Maryland law stipulates that minors in locals where you can carry a knife or a dangerous weapon. Carrying a concealed dangerous weapon is prohibited. However, concealed carry of a pocket knife with a manual folding blade is allowed, regardless of size. Open carrying any pocket knife with foldable blade or other dangerous weapon is permissible, provided there's no malice intent towards others. Minors, those under 16 years old, are prohibited from carrying any dangerous weapon 1 hour before sunrise and 1 hour after sunset, with expectations for certain activities like hunting, or military civic engagements. No specific statute regarding whether felons can carry or own knives in Maryland, counseling with legal counsel as recommended due to potential carry restrictions across states and counties. Certain individuals and scenarios are exempt from Maryland's carry knife laws. Law enforcement officers, whether retired or active, officers within the state or any county they're in, individuals with a state issued permit to carry a weapon, participants in historical demonstrations authorized by schools to carry weapons or replicas, county board of education employees who guard schools. There aren't specific statewide knife blade length restrictions in Maryland, but individual counties may have varying provisions regarding blade length. Out the OTF knives are generally legal to own in Maryland. However, if an OTF knife operates like a switchblade, it may be subject to the same restrictions as switchblades in terms of selling and carrying. Butterfly knives are legal to own in Maryland. However, they might be subject to certain carrying restrictions based on the specifics of local county laws. It's always best to consult with local laws or legal professional. There aren't specific statewide knife blade restrictions in Maryland. Here's some of Maryland state knife references. Maryland Criminal Law Code Section 4-105 came out in 2021. Section 4-101 of the Code of Maryland Statutes. Here's some significant court cases. Lawrence versus State. The court upheld strict liability for wearing, carrying, or transporting a handgun. That's weird. I don't know why this bring up about guns, so I take it for knives. Johnson versus State, while not much detail is provided, it's a case listed under Maryland's knife law. Michael Benson versus the state of Maryland. The court upheld a conviction of a prison inmate for possessing a makeshift knife. Okay, here's a timeline for some major changes in Maryland. Back in 1957, Maryland restricted the concealed carry of switchblades. Back in 1991, in the case of Bacon versus State of Maryland, the court observed that penknives are considered to encompass any knife with the blade folded into the handle, and a local blade does not cause the knife to be other than a penknife. Currently, there have been no change in Maryland knife laws for decades. Well, that's simple. And always like, share, and subscribe. If you don't, that's fine. Same with comments. If you're new, the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Where new videos come out. Well, you gotta take it easy. Catch y'all on the flip side.